Monterey Car Week is right around the corner. I'm going to spend some time talking about what I'm going to be bringing with me on the road trip. I also did some changes to my 911 in preparation, and I'll take a break in San Diego doing some car spotting. Starting today, there's about 3 weeks left for Monterey. So instead of talking about my M5 or my Mazda MX-6, I'm going to focus my attention today on preparations for Monterey Car Week. Last year, I didn't make it to Monterey Car Week, but the year before, I was able to go with a few friends. I did about maybe 3 different vlogs of it back in 2023. So if you get a chance, go check out the videos and you can see some of the things that I covered. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a few slides and show some of the highlights from 2 years ago. For this year, I'm going to be going with a few of the regulars on this channel. A lot of you have seen the cars. One of them is Eduardo and one of his Porsches. He's got the silver Cayman as well as the black 996 911. And then there is Ant, who has the midnight blue 997 C2S. And the third one that's coming along is Surf and his yellow GT3. When we get up to Monterey, we'll be meeting with a few of the other guys, but as far as my particular group, there's just going to be 3 of us caravanning together. Usually when I go on long trips like this, I have a checklist of things that I want to bring. Because it's a long drive, I want to make sure that I have some tools, and supplies, just in case if there's an emergency and I need some tools. At least I have them readily available in case those things happen. I set up a few of those items behind me on my workbench. So let's go ahead and turn around the camera and talk more about it. These are some of the supplies that I'm going to be carrying with me in my car. I'm going to bring my compressor. I normally carry this around just in case I'm running low on air. And then I also want to make sure that I also bring extra oil. I don't have a problem with oil consumption with my car, but it's always good to keep extra oil in the car. I also have some fuses over here. These are the ones that have the different sizes. So I just bought a new set to bring just in case of emergency if anybody in our group blows a fuse. And then the bottom here, that's my tire repair kit. I always carry a set of tools. So I like to carry my Craftsman 61-piece tool set. And then this is my touch-up detailing supplies. I have some simple green, some distilled water, I have some quick detailer here, some tire shine, and some premium microfiber towels. When shopping around for a tire repair kit, a lot of the cheaper ones just came with some of the basic items here. But when I thought about it a little bit more, I want to get something that has an actual case with all the tools and supplies included. So I have pretty much everything here, patches here. A lot of them didn't come with pliers, so this one comes with it as well. It has also the tire pressure, you can measure the tread, some extra valve stems. I also have some extra gloves, the lubricant, pretty much everything. So I was glad that I went with this set. That way, if anyone needs a repair, I can pretty much just carry this and everything is all in one. The next thing that's important to me is always having a reliable set of tools. So this 61-piece tool set that's by Craftsman, I always keep this in the car. It has all the basic tools that I need. You can get all the different sockets, the extended sockets. You can also get all the different screwdriver heads over here. And then you got an extension here. So pretty much the basic tools are all included in this particular set. So whenever I'm traveling on road trips, I always bring my tools. As far as diagnostic tools, I might bring my Autel, but sometimes This is a little bit more easier to carry around, my iCar Soft for my 911. I always carry in my car the small compact diagnostic tool from Harbor Freight, but I might bring this along, or instead of this, I might even bring the Autel. So either way, I'll at least bring one diagnostic tool. So now that I got some of the supplies out of the way, I want to talk about some of the events on the agenda that we're going to be attending. I have my checklist of items that I want to cover, so I'm just going to talk about some of them, and I'm going to break it down into one column for events and then the other for drives. So we're only going to be there for about 2 or 3 days. So I'll start off with the events. The Legends of the Autobahn is going to be on Thursday, and then the Works Reunion is going to be on Friday, and then the Exotics on Broadway is going to be on Saturday. Those are the 3 main big events that I want to attend. There's going to be several other events that we could probably squeeze in, but I always want to make sure that when I set up an agenda, there's some room just in case there's any changes. As far as drives, on my list is definitely the 17-mile drive. That's something I wasn't able to do on the last trip in 2023, so I definitely want to include that in this year's drive. Also, there's going to be some areas in Monterey like Canary Row or Alvarado Street at night that we definitely want to cruise and check out. And last but not least, all the guys really want to go to Bixby Bridge. I've been there before, I think in 2019 on my first trip to Monterey Car Week, and I didn't take any of my cars, so I want to take my 911 this year with the guys and get some good pictures and video of it. Now let's switch over to preparations with my 911. I'm going to flip the camera around right now so you can see how it looks like. It looks a little bit different because there's some things that I want to touch up on my car. So let's go and do a deep dive. So this is how it looks like in its current state. The stock wheels are back on, and I gotta admit, it's a lot more comfortable driving with 19s instead of the 20s that I have on. It doesn't rub. I have full turning capabilities without any rubbing. So it's pretty nice driving it around without having to worry about those things. Also in the front, I put back the version 2 front lip. So the old one is here. Let me go around this way. I damaged it quite a bit, so I wanted to repaint it. It was mostly on this side. I just started a little work on it a few days ago, but I haven't returned yet to this, so there's still a lot more work to do. I'm using the paint stripper to remove all the original paint, and then I'm going to sand it and prep it for respray. So that will be going back in my car in about a week or 2. Another thing that I fixed on my car was the window. I'm gonna throw a few slides so we can get more details on that. So now that it's done, everything is sealed perfectly tight. I'm not gonna get any more of that wind noise when I'm driving. Get a little close up so you can see no more gaps. Also right here was really bad, but now it's all leveled out. The next item I do want to focus on is changing the screws. I want to replace the ones that I have to find a head screw that's a little bit more flat, or maybe even an Allen key. And also the uprights and the brackets. Initially, I was planning on sandblasting it or removing the paint so I could refinish it, but I think it's still in pretty good shape right now, so I might just leave it alone to save some time. But for Monterey, I definitely want to upgrade the screws and give it a more cleaner look. So there's definitely still a few things that I need to fine tune on my 911 in preparation for Monterey Car Week. By the second week of August, everything on my 911 should be dialed in.
Feel like I know right where she's at. I got a hot lead.
I'll be focusing my attention back on my M5 and doing some upgrades. And then later I meet up with the guys and we're gonna be shopping for some shoes for Monterey. So that's gonna do it for this episode. Thanks for joining.